always fun to have a coughing fit right as the podcast. Welcome to the Most Accurate Podcast. I am your host, Jennifer Akins. I am joined by Justin Edwards, my co-host every week in the 2024 season on the TMAP streaming show. Justin, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Rolling right along, right into this first playoff bound by apocalypse. This one's bad, and then week 14 is also pretty miserable. So we'll stream our way through it.
We will. It's ugly. For those that don't know, yes, we are in the Bimageddon, Bipocalypse, whatever you want to call it. We've got 6 teams: Falcons, Bills, Bengals, Jags, Saints, and Jets. We get a break next week, but then week 14 we have 6 more, so that'll be fun again.
Right in the playoffs.
But yeah, I know NFL does not care about your fantasy team by any stretch. But anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. It is week 12, as we said. Let's get into a quick little recap here.
Yeah.
Of what happened last week. Pretty good week in the quarterback streaming world, I will say. 3 of the 4 quarterbacks were among the top 15. Can't really complain about that too much. My top pick, Bo Nix, was quarterback 3. Mr. Jameis Winston was quarterback 6. Despite a bad matchup, I didn't love it, but I did throw him in. So Jameis Winston was quarterback 6, and then Drake May was quarterback 15. The only one kind of outside of good graces there was Russell Wilson, ended up at quarterback 26.
That was a crazy game, though.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't really indicative of his performance or went down. It just wasn't a good fantasy day for him. But I mean, overall,
if one of those 13 field goals was a touchdown,
right,
look a lot better.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Boswell continues to just dominate the fantasy sphere. Hope you grabbed him 2 weeks ago when I threw him in this podcast. The only reason he was available is because they had a bye. But yeah, I mean, going into the season as the kicker person, if you told me Chris Boswell was going to be the kicker 1,
right?
Nobody saw that one coming. But good for him and good for them. But yeah, that was quarterback. Not too bad. 3 guys in the top 15. Can't hate it, especially when you're looking at the names there. Justin, how do we do in tight end?
Tight ends were fantastic. We got Jonnu Smith, the overall tight end 2, including that giant touchdown, one of 2 touchdowns, I believe. Zach Ertz was the tight end 6, even though he was sitting at 1 catch until like 3 minutes remained in the 4th quarter. But hey, he got a whole drive to himself, so that counts. Dawson Knox was the tight end 19, which is fine. He had 6 points. And then Will Dissly was the tight end 5. So had Taysom Hill not had the game of his lifetime, we would have hit 3 top 5 guys.
Yes.
We hit 3 top 6, which is still pretty awesome.
Nice work. We like that. I mean, tight end, I feel like I don't want to say evening out a little bit, but it's not as disgusting as it was.
It was brutal the first few weeks.
Yeah, it's not as gross. I mean, some of the guys, I would say Mark Andrews, but he did not have a good week last week. But some of those guys that were not performing in the beginning did perform, in the middle to later part of the season.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to our kicker wrap up here.
Yeah.
Not a great week in the kicker sphere. It was the stars and scrubs week. We'll put it that way. Jake Bates, who was my number 1 choice, both on the stream and in the article, was the kicker 2 with 12 points. The rest of them can suck it. It was not a good week. Not a good week. We had John Parker Romer was tied for kicker 21. Joshua Carty tied for kicker 22. And Brandon McManus was the kicker 27. So 3 out of 4 were duds. But Jake Bates, once again, was the kicker 2. Jake Bates is no longer in the streaming conversation, which is sad. I mean, I'm kind of, it's one of those things every week I was like, okay, this week is the week he's out. This week is the week he's out. But he's finally out. He is now 67% rostered. So thank you to you Yahoo managers who finally got on board and picked up Jake Bates, because he is no longer a streaming option.
I've been rolling with Bates in my only kicker league because of this show. Once Moody went down, I picked up Bates, and there's no reason to move on.
Yeah, I as well streamed debates many moons ago, and he's still there in my
Yeah, it feels great.
It's nice. As much as I tout kicker streaming and I tell people it's the best way to get extra points every week. But once you do find a kicker, you don't need to stream. You're not going to stream away from the
Right.
guy who's good. And Bates is just listen. We all see that Detroit offense. I mean, he scored 50.
Right.
They're just scoring points, and he's going to get his. So Jake Bates is one of those guys. Now that you have him, just keep him. All right, defense. Wrap up. How'd you do?
Defense just fine. Kind of meh. We had the Packers at the Bears. The Bears did look much better under Thomas Brown. The Packers only scored 3 points. And the Saints also only scored 3 points. They're pretty much tied for like the defense 18 to defense 25. A whole bunch of teams scored the exact same amount. We had the Dolphins versus the Raiders. They were the defense 11. And then we had the Rams at the Patriots, who were the defense 3. So we got two nice pieces and 2 meh pieces at the back end. But hey, no negatives.
Yeah, listen, wow, yeah, that's rough. I don't think I've had a defense score negative in any of my leagues this year, but that is just the worst feeling.
Oh man,
I might as well have left
it.
Yeah, might as well have left it blank. No reason to pick up anybody. All right, sounds good. That is our wrap up. We will get to the rest of them coming up. For those of you that are new, don't know, this is the streaming show. We go over the streamable. The 4 streamable positions: quarterback, tight end, kicker, and defense every week. So we will be giving ours in a bit. First, we got to get to our weekly segment, Weird Sport of the Week. All right. So this week, the Weird Sport of the Week is Irish road bowling. Ever heard of it, Justin?
I have not, no.
Okay. So Irish road bowling is basically, it's similar to golf, right? Competitors attempt to take the fewest throws to propel a metal ball along a predetermined course of country roads. In the early days, they were stone balls, but now it is a cast iron ball that is preferred. They are the standard size is 58 millimeters in diameter and 28 ounces. It is about the size of a tennis ball, but cast iron. Basically, the aim of the competition is to cover a prescribed distance with a set number of throws, a la golf. They follow a country road course up to 4 kilometers long. The fewest throws wins the contest. You may think that these are casual affairs, but there's actually like a controlling body and rules and the whole bit here.
It seems like fun, honestly.
I mean, right? Like random country roads. I mean, I guess you got to watch. It's like when you're little and you're playing hockey and you're like, car, you got to move the goals
right.
out of the way. I don't know what you do when a car's coming and there's a cast iron ball flying down the road towards your car. Right. I doubt that they're blocking off roads for this. I don't know, but like some of these weird sports that we've encountered over the season, they're fun, man. The foreigners do it right. Like they have fun. They have much more fun sports than we do here. I mean, I guess we could do it here, really, in a country road anywhere.
Yeah. This sounds like a blast. This sounds like something I would do, like either as a 12-year-old or as a drunk 20-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's I mean, you think of it kind of like golf or disc golf or something. I mean, you're launching it, but I don't know if it's just a metal ball going down like a paved road. I don't know how much strategy there is, right? It either hits a rock and falls off.
You got to get some English on it, so you can get
right.
on curves and stuff.
I gotcha. Okay. I think that the problem is the random obstacles that you can't face. Like I said, like if it hits a random rock that's in the road and then careens off to the right, and then you're in the rough, I guess, and then I don't know, like golf, I guess you take a lie or I don't know, take a drop. Either way, there it is. Irish bowling sounds.
They have they have caddies called road showers. So this is like a tandem affair.
What do you mean?
They have a caddy, like a golf caddy. These.
Oh, the Irish bowl. Oh, I did not see that in my research.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I dug real deep.
You did. I would love to listen. The caddy, that would also be a fun. I mean, just have a couple beers and be the caddy.
Right.
I mean, I guess you're swapping out. Maybe if the ball gets dirty or what, you're swapping it out.
Yeah, you need someone to.
Or I don't know if you can swap out. If it's like
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know. We didn't dive too deep. However, there you have Irish bowling. If anyone goes over there and participates, let us know how it goes.
Right.
I'm down. I will certainly give it a shot. If we want to get a local Irish road bowling going here in the States, I'm down for that as well. All right, let's get to our week 12 streamers.
Yeah. You want to knock out a couple of questions real quick?
Oh yeah, sure. You know what? My screen is not even on that. I'm on the other part, so
Oh, that's okay.
I kind of forgot about that portion of the show. Sure.
Michael says hi. I think Jen and both of I are in the playoffs
Yes,
though.
yes, Michael. I'm in the Scott Fishbowl playoffs as well. I'm not as high up as Justin, but I do qualify. I have I think I looked this morning, it's you need 181.3 average weekly score. And I'm at 191.2, and I have
yeah. So you're moving on too. We're all
yes, and I have 16 wins. I am 16-6. So I am there as well. Thank you, Michael, for that. All right. Thankful for the show. Okay, should I put 1% bid down on Abdullah for roster depth? Should I drop depth? Should I drop Mostert or Garendo? Don't have CMC. Thank you.
I'm fine with dropping Mostert, but I think I'd still probably rather have Mostert than Abdullah if that's who you're dropping for. What do you think?
As a person that has Mostert on several leagues, I absolutely understand wanting to drop him.
Yeah, I just did a whole segment of a video last night about dropping Raheem Mostert.
He's brutal, but Abdullah, I mean, Abdullah catches passes. Like
right.
I get it. I mean, the Raiders aren't great.
They're going to be playing from behind just plenty.
Yeah. So I don't mind. I actually don't mind Abdullah. Dropping either one of those guys. I mean, you can. It depends on really what do you mean for Abdullah? I don't know. Like Justin said, I think Mostert is probably the better long play, but for mental sanity, I would be okay with dropping Mostert. There's times when it's just, that frustration level. It's like Deontay Johnson right now. One of those guys where
I just did a segment about dropping him too.
Oh, you did? Yeah, it's like for your mental stability from week to week, like so you don't have to see his name anymore or consider it. I totally am a proponent for that. So yeah.
Right.
Okay. Sam Burks. Is it worth trading Garrett Wilson away for Montgomery? PPR league bonus points 100+. Listen, I am a Montgomery aficionado.
I'm kind of fine with this.
Yeah, I actually this weekend during the games I posted. I don't want to say I tweeted because it was on Blue Sky, and I refuse to use the name that they're now using for the whatever. Skying? No, it's Skeet, which is like if you look that up, that's a word that's not. Yeah, it's very bad. But anyway, I put out some information. No, David Montgomery. I feel like is one of the most undervalued guys this year. Like I don't know his exact ADP, but that dude just shows up every week. He gets in the end zone. He had 2 touchdowns. Like he's he's
like 2022 Tyler Lockett, where and he's going in the same range every year, but he out kicks it by like 4
rounds. And the crazy thing is like he's the RB2 on his team, right? Technically.
Right.
But like we just said a couple minutes ago, Detroit is just scoring a lot of points. They're continuing to score a lot of points. So
it's amazing.
And I think the Jets are going in the other direction. So I don't hate that. If you get
Mr. Scampers here says that the Jets actually just fired Joe Douglas.
Oh, they did just now. Interesting.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, sure. Keep firing people. I don't think that's really the problem.
Right, that'll fix it.
You just keep doing it, and let Aaron Rodgers, run the show. And I don't know. Yeah.
So Montgomery for Wilson or Wilson for Montgomery, I think is totally fine, to be honest.
Yeah, I would love. Montgomery is a guy that if you still are trade eligible in your league, I would try to get him because he's just he is. I know I said earlier I have Mostert. I legitimately have David Montgomery on every single league that I can possibly have him on. I do. I have, including Guillotine, Scott Fishbowl, well, actually, best ball. I probably don't. I haven't looked at my exposure, but all of my managed leagues every week, I have David Montgomery. So yes. I love when he gets in, especially when it's more than once. Okay, Michael, has Jake Elliott ever hit a 50-yard field goal? I don't know. Jake Elliott. He proved me. So a couple years ago, I went on this whole rant about Jake Elliott, and I was like, I'm tired of. He was just not working out. Like the process for him every week, he should have been a streamer, and then he was getting like 2 points, 3 points, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to put him in these articles. I'm done with Jake Elliott. And then last year, I don't know where he had a good year, and now he's back to up and down, missing stuff. Yeah, that sucks. But Philly's on the rise, so he may be better going on the stretch. But I feel like there's probably some better kickers out there. I know that wasn't your question, but all right, let's get into streaming. Hi
Let's do
Mac.
it.
Let's get into some streaming before we roll. This is no joke, by far the most disgusting quarterback streaming week ever in the history
This
of
is a
quarterback
this
streaming
is a
week.
tough streaming week in general.
No, but quarterback is like disgusting. Like not
Really?
only are the names disgusting, but their matchups are disgusting. Like it's very, very bad. Like I hope you guys have someone because it's very ugly. But we're gonna get to it because I've got 4 names and their warm bodies that will be in the lineups. Okay, so the first guy I have is Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, well, first of all, before he's playing Pitt, he's 12% rostered. Jameis Winston had 395 yards and 2 touchdowns in a loss.
Right.
But I touted him last week for the revenge game, and it happened. At least from his standpoint, the Browns did not win, but he crushed it. But the Steelers are first in adjusted fantasy points allowed. They're only allowing 11.6 fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. So not a great matchup. Normally, I wouldn't even put him on the list, but he is the number 1 streamer this week because it's that disgusting. Second name, watch the vomit come to the top of your throat. Will Levis at Houston. He is 9% rostered. He had a 55% completion rate last week. However, he has one of the better matchups this week against Houston, who are 14th in adjusted fantasy points allowed. He has some decent weapons. I mean, he got saved last week by that massive 98 yard touchdown by Nick Westbrook-Okene, but still. So Will Levis, like I said, he's not great option, but he is an option. Third guy we have, Drake May. He is playing in Miami, and he is 14% rostered. Drake May's the quarterback 10 since he took over for that starting job in week 6. He does have a tough task this week. Again, like I said, they all have bad matchups. Miami is 5th in quarterback adjusted fantasy points allowed. However, they were first heading into last week. So they dropped 4 spots, meaning that, they're a little more vulnerable. They gave up some points to the Raiders there. But still, I mean, it's not going to be an easy matchup for Drake May on the road in Miami. But once again, he's there. The fourth bonus option, say it with me, Tommy DeVito. I will say this, right? He has the best matchup of any possible option. He's playing the Bucks, and they are 31st against quarterbacks. So It's a very good matchup. However, it's Tommy DeVito. I mean, I don't know if it even matters that they have a good matchup. He showed some flashes of okayness last year, right? But I don't know if he's an upgrade from Daniel Jones. I really don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's available
he's
in
got a good matchup.
He's got a great matchup, and he's available in 98% of leagues. So to wrap that up, a nice little bow on the most disgusting quarterback week ever. Jameis Winston, Jameis Winston, Will Levis, Drake May, and Tommy DeVito. There you have it. Your quarterback streamers for week 12.
What a happy group.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to say I didn't warn you all. It's as gross as it possibly gets. And there's literally no other, it's not even, I mean, I'm sure if we squeaked up over the 40% mark, we could come up with some better names, but
yeah,
the parameters for the show are 40% or under on Yahoo. So these are the 4 names. It's a very hard line, and these are the 4 names we have. All right, let's do a couple more questions before we get to tight end. Let's see. Jason Quinn. Let's see. Hold Houston defense versus Tennessee, or drop them for Pitt versus Cleveland, Tampa Bay versus Giants, or Kansas City versus Carolina. Ooh, there's some good options there.
Yeah. It'd probably be Pittsburgh. Oh my God. Yeah, those are great options.
They're all great options.
Pittsburgh,
I mean,
probably.
I would Pittsburgh, or Kansas City for rest of season.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what their actual. Hold on. I don't know what their actual defensive matchup is.
We'll talk about Tampa Bay later, but that's not like a long-term play. That's like a 1-week streaming option. But these other, I would just pick up Pittsburgh. I feel like.
Okay, the hotspots tool is not working right now. All right. Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh. I know I just talked about Jameis and how he's a streaming option, but yeah, I mean,
He also throws interceptions, so
he does. No, he definitely does. He absolutely does. And Pittsburgh, yeah, no, I like that. I like Pittsburgh. I don't know. I mean,
maybe KC. Yeah, I see what you mean though. For a long
they're
term
all
play.
really good. Listen, you're even looking at the Bucks against Tommy DeVito, like, and then you're looking at, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you can
Right.
go wrong here, Jason. I mean, as far as keeping Houston against Tennessee, I mean, that's not a bad matchup either. Houston has been decent, but I feel like one of those might be a better play this week.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, let's see.
Totally.
We're gonna keep Danny DeVito. Yeah, I mean, listen, Danny DeVito might as well be in play this week at quarterback. You think Danny DeVito would last one play? There's no way.
Absolutely
he's
not.
way too small and way too
No.
old. I cannot. I mean, listen, I wouldn't even last one play out there.
Yeah, right.
And I'm
not
much
lasting out there.
heftier than Danny DeVito.
I like my bones unbroken inside my flesh.
Yeah, I don't think that I mean, I would, yeah, we'd all get killed. Even with pads and everything,
Yeah.
I don't think I would make it. I don't even know. Okay, Eric Serrano in a 12-team PPR. 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, a kicker, and a D. I only have 3 wide receivers on my roster, Adams and Moody on a bye. Waiver options, Dobbs, Watson, Moore, Slayton, Boutte, among others. Watson and Dobbs are interesting. I don't dislike that.
Right.
Elijah Moore, I mean, I don't know. It's tough, right? There's
Moore's
between
like
Tillman,
the floor play here.
Yeah, I mean, between Tillman, Judy, and Moore, we don't know where it's going to go, and they have a tough matchup against the Steelers.
Yeah.
The rest of these guys are a crapshoot too. I feel like Watson. I don't know. I kind of like the Packers options there. I mean, they're playing San Francisco, but they are at home at Lambeau. Watson. I mean, Dobbs is hitter. They're both. I don't know. It's tough. What do you think?
Yeah. Dobbs. I want Dobbs here. And then does he need 2?
Probably.
I guess Dobbs and Elijah Moore, but Moore's ceiling is pretty capped.
Yeah, I think Slayton, Boutte are just not. I don't. You could get big fat zeros. I feel like the other ones are there's at least some sort of a floor. Yeah. I mean, when you say among others, there might be someone better in there, like maybe Adam Thielen, Liggett, Quentin Johnston. I don't know. There's some other scrubby names as well, but may have a better floor than those guys. But I think Justin and I agree. I think the Packers are your best options there, or Elijah Moore.
Yep.
All right, let's move down here. I have Otten, but Bucky is on waivers. I don't know. Is that to answer a question we already answered, or is that just
I'd rather keep Otten over Bucky Irving, if that's the question.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, are you talking about a flex?
Otten's better.
Tough to tell. All right. Justin, who did you bring for us today at tight end streaming?
I brought a whole raggedy bunch to the tight end streaming streets. It's not too bad. It's definitely better than my defensive options, but I got at least 4 guys we'll talk about. The main streaming option is Will Dissly.
Yes.
Hayden Hurst was a healthy and active. Yeah, I mean, I gotta boost the Reds out here.
As you mentioned, Hayden Hurst, just throw them all.
Exactly.
Every redheaded tight end.
Andy Dalton, get over to Los Angeles. Hayden Hurst was a healthy and active last week, I do believe, and Will Dissly now has 4 receptions in 5 of his last 6 games. He found the end zone quick on a 29-yard vert route. There were 3 tight ends on the field during this bomb of a play. The Chargers was just a lot of fun, to be honest. Dissly hit 80 yards, 16 fantasy points last week. Next up, he gets the Baltimore Ravens, who rank 31st in yards allowed and 32nd in receptions allowed to inline targets. Will Dissly lines up as an inline tight end on 56.5% of his routes and has the 6th highest yards out of the tight end alignment across the entire league. So Will Dissly, number 1 with a bullet. After him, I've got Zach Ertz, who is just, I'm sick of talking about him.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing. I'm like, really? We're
right. Zach Ertz, high floor play. Everyone knows who the heck Zach Ertz is. Either play him or don't. We're not going to talk about Zach Ertz anymore. Now we get into the nitty gritty, and here's where it gets a little more fun. Jatavian Sanders is still rostered in only 2% of leagues. The Panthers are coming out of that bye week with his usage rising, and both Ian Thomas, who's on IR, and Tommy Tremble missing huge swaths of time this year. The Panthers don't have a lot to play for right now, so they may as well get the rookie out there, get him some reps, get him ready for 2025. And the Chiefs actually ranked 19th in tight end schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed, even though they're like top 10 to most other positions. So Jatavian Sanders, interesting play for deeper leagues. Even deeper leagues, if you want to go with it. We have another rookie coming out of bye in Theo Johnson. We did see Tommy DeVito check down at an 11.8% clip last season, which is the 9th highest among 48 quarterbacks who took at least 100 dropbacks. So good news for good news for Tyrone Tracy and possibly Theo Johnson. 56% of Theo Johnson's targets have come within 9 yards of the line of scrimmage. So he's got a little bit of floor there. He is available in 99% of Yahoo leagues. And then as a bonus, another guy I really don't feel like talking about, Isaiah Likely is out there. He's available in 74% of Yahoo leagues. I'm not going to play him, but I understand why someone would. He profiles as a decent boom bust option, but the bust is literally 0 points. So Likely's out there. It's another name that everyone knows, but I'm not into it. I wouldn't be playing Isaiah Likely this week unless I absolutely had to. So those 5 guys are Will Dissly at 24%, Zach Ertz at 34%, Jatavian Sanders at 2%, Theo Johnson at 1%. So you got plenty of options here. And then Isaiah Likely, if you feel like it, at 26%.
I like the rookie calls. I like Sanders and Johnson. I feel like, yeah, like you said, neither of these teams really have anything to play for. So
right. Why aren't they just
why don't see
put out all your rookies, and it doesn't really matter if you win or lose.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down with that. All right. Before we answer we're going to answer a couple more questions, but first, let's talk about Prize Picks. We know there's a ton of options out there for real money sports action, but we have found one that really stands out from the rest. Prize Picks. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everyone. Prize Picks is so easy to play, and now you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as few as 4 correct picks. One thing I really like is that Prize Picks is also the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. So your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If you sign up today, you will get $50 instantly when you play 5. And that $50 bonus is guaranteed whether you win or not. So my pick this week on Prize Picks, I know it's early. It is Tuesday morning. But my pick this week is I like George Pickens to have more than 58.5 receiving yards.
Oh, yeah.
He's averaged 91.25 receiving yards per game in the 4 contests with Russ. His lowest output this season so far has been 74 yards. So I feel like 58.5, easy. Browns are 25th in wide receiver adjusted fantasy points allowed heading into week 12. So that is my pick at the moment. George Pickens, more than 58.5 receiving yards. So download the app today. Use code TMAP, TMAP, to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, just download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code TMAP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Do you know that you just mentioned George Pickens and you didn't say Moonball, which I don't think is allowed as analysts, I think we have to say moonball anytime
Oh,
we
we are?
mention George Pickens or Russell Wilson.
Well, I don't go with the norm here, Justin. I do my own thing. I will say every time I say his name, and there's probably maybe 1% of you listening to this that know anything about widespread panic, but they have a song called "Picking Up the Pieces," and so in my brain, I'm always like, every time I say "pick it," I'm always like "pick it," and then I sing the line every time. So there's that. But no, Moonball.
Moonball.
Moonball. All right. So there. So that's my pick on Prize Picks. Let's take some questions before we
Sure,
move
sure.
on to the kicker realm. All right. We've got Jesse Driscoll.
Jesse.
I have Daniels. I'm wondering if I should stream Levis. He has a beautiful playoff schedule. Also, thoughts on CMC league mates will overpay. Should I sell him to make a playoff run? Okay. First part of the question. I mean,
I'm putting Jade Daniels out there no matter
I'm
what.
putting Jane Daniels too. I know sometimes it gets tempting in the playoffs to get cute and do matchups, but when it's that much of a difference between the players' level of talent, I feel
If
like
it was like Jordan Love in a good matchup
right,
or Jaden
right,
Daniels,
right.
I'd be like,
Yeah,
sure, yeah, you can
yeah.
match up based.
I think you can get too cute there, and I don't want to do it. So I would say no to that. The second part, I would do. I mean, the 49ers are not playing well. They're not themselves, that's for sure.
Right.
And CMC, I mean, he's fine, but I'm with you. Like, I think someone will overpay for him right now. So if you can sell him and get an improvement in another part of your roster that you need, I would.
I mean, you can get a high end wide receiver.
Yeah, for sure. So I would
go get Nico Collins. Nico didn't have such a great game last night, but he had a bunch of stuff called back. So trade CMC for Nico Collins.
Yeah, I mean, I think that yeah, I definitely throw some stuff out there and see what sticks. I think it's worth it for sure. I don't hate that at all, Jesse. Okay. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Michael.
Okay. All in one show. Trade Zay Flowers for Juwan Jennings.
Trade Zay Flowers for man. Zay Flowers has been so annoying.
He has. I have to say I don't have him, but my husband has him rostered on a team, and I hear the groans and the moans and the. But yeah, looking at. I don't know if it's that well. I mean, the Niners don't have a really fantastic playoff schedule. They play Chicago in Week 14, then they have a good game against the Rams, and then they get the Dolphins in Week 16, and then they get Detroit in Week 17. So, not fantastic there. Flowers. The thing is, he still has a bye in Week 14, and they don't have a good.
Yeah, do it. Actually, you get a free week.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of.
I like that way more.
To me, I feel like that's the differentiator there because I don't think one of them is that much stronger than the other. But yeah, you're getting a free week basically.
Yeah,
so,
do it.
And you have Puka, London, Higgins, Waddle, and Ridley. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, mess with it.
Yeah, I mean London's off this week, and yeah, sure. Okay. Let's move on to 97. Anthony. Should I start Pittsburgh defense against Cleveland? We just had this exact question a few minutes ago. And yeah, we like Pittsburgh. I did see someone just posted above that it's supposed to be bad weather, which makes that even a better play.
Hey, even more Pittsburghy.
Yeah, even more Pittsburghy. Okay, Michael. I offered Kelsey, Metcalf, and Tracy for Bowers, CMC, and Johnston. There's 2 wide receiver and 3 flex spots in a PPR. I have Dobbins, AJ Brown, St. Brown. Is this a fair trade for both teams? Metcalf and Tracy for Bowers
and Kelsey,
CMC. Oh, and you have and Kelsey.
I mean, yeah. So it's an obvious upgrade on tight end because you're trading for like the tight end 1.
Yeah, but Bowers is right there. Oh, I see.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying
I thought you were
Bowers
saying Kelsey. I was
1.
like, huh? Okay.
No,
yeah.
Kelsey is like the tight end 8 right now.
I'll shut up. You talk.
No. Definitely an upgrade on the tight end. I think CMC and Tracy are a little closer than we thought they would be. And then Metcalf is clearly better than Johnston, but Johnston has looked strong and looks like he could be a kind of a back end wide receiver too.
I think
I
it's
think
fine.
it's
I don't. Yeah,
yeah, I think it's fine too.
I don't think it's absolutely completely lopsided. I mean, I may prefer what you had, but at the same time, I don't think it's. I think it's pretty fair, and if it's helping, if it's helping your team, I mean, like he said, you're getting an upgrade at tight end. I'm assuming. I mean, there's 2, 3. Yeah,
It's a pretty big upgrade on tight end though.
it
It's like
is.
the tight end one.
Yeah, and you have Dobbins, AJ Brown, and St. Brown, which is awesome. So
I'm
yeah, I
fine with
think
it.
we're good.
I would do it.
Remember? Okay, so right, heading into the season, I of course have been a Bowers fan for years,
Right.
and we were so. I remember like this whole off season, like I was like, okay, Bowers tight end one, and then when he went to the Raiders, we were so bummed. We're like, we're not getting the tight end one out of him, and we
Right.
did anyway.
And then Michael Mayer just like stopped playing. Did you ever hear anything about what I mean, I guess it's none of our business, but he was like he was on PUP for personal reasons.
Yeah, I don't know. I
know.
don't think
Whatever.
there wasn't really
Not my
anything
business.
like
I'm
that.
not his family.
Yeah, no, and I think it's interesting. We all as a community just perceive that was a really bad pick. A, by the Raiders, and then B, he was just ending up in a bad spot.
Yeah,
And
it didn't matter.
his talent shone through. Cream rises, right, Justin?
Right to the top.
All right, to the top, baby. All right, Dynasty is my life. I'm guessing this is going to be a Justin question since Dynasty is not my life.
12-team Superflex half-point tight end premium contender. A little weak at wide receiver. I have Bowers, Hockenson, and Andrews. Would I be crazy to send Hockenson in 2 mid to late first for London? I'm set at RB for a bit and taking him from a competitor. Dang. So 2 firsts. They are later for London. I'll look it up in our trade calculator. Do you want to take the next one? And I'll come back to Dynasty as my life.
Yeah, sure. Eric's saying Thielen available. I think he's worth it. Yeah, I mean, I know your question before. You had that list of those kind of mediocre wide receivers to pick up, and I mean, listen, Thielen he's rested, he's fresh.
I'd rather have Thielen than Booty or
same.
Shepard.
I feel like
with a Slayton.
Yeah, I mean, I know Leggett has been decent, but I think Thielen will slide right back in as the number 1 target getter in that offense. So I'm down with that. Okay, we'll go back to Michael real quick while you're looking that up.
Okay.
I can't believe I dropped Laporta to get Will Dissly. Missed out on Jonnu. I also have Ingram. Would you flex Dissly over Booty or Vele? Definitely over Booty. Vele is kind of interesting, but I think Dissly has a better floor. I think that Vele has a little more ceiling because he could blow up and have, Dissly's not going to like blow up and have a 3 touchdown game and 200 yards, but I think he has a better floor. So if that's what you're looking for, then I would probably flex him. Justin, do you have thoughts on that, or are you busy looking up the trade?
No, I think I agree.
Okay. All right. Well, while you're looking up that trade, I'm going to do some kicker action. Therefore,
okay. Wait, I got it. I'll knock him out real quick.
Okay.
Dynasty, we have for 2 late firsts and Hockenson for just Drake London. It's pretty lopsided. I would try to do like Hockenson in a first, or Hockenson in a first and a third, or something like that. All right. Let's get into kickers.
Let's get into kickers because I'm sure all of you were dying.
I'm here for it.
To it.
I want to know.
Well, this week is okay. It's pretty decent in the kicker department. I mean, considering the fact that we're missing 6 kickers, thankfully only 3 of them are every week starters. The rest of them are not. So we're really only missing 3 kickers. So I think it's a decent week. Some of the the kickers that the process leads me to be the best are guys that are already rostered, but that's okay. I found some good ones. So my number 1 recommendation right now is Washington leg. We don't know if it's going to be Austin Seibert or Zane Gonzalez. Austin Seibert has been out for 2 weeks now with a hip injury. I haven't seen anything yet this week. Like I said, it is Tuesday morning, so we don't know yet. But either one, Austin Seibert is 21% rostered. Zane Gonzalez is 2% rostered. The Commanders are 10-point home favorites versus the shell of the Cowboys. They are Washington has the second highest team total of the week, 27.28. Slam dunk there. Whichever guy, just pay attention to any reports of all of that, and whichever guy goes, he's the top guy there for me.
Right.
Second guy, Spencer Schrader. For those of you that may not know who that is, Justin, do you know Spencer Schrader?
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do now after
Right.
the last couple of days.
After the last couple of days. So Spencer Schrader is the Harrison Butker replacement for the Chiefs. Harrison Butker is on IR until at least week 15. They're playing on the road in Carolina. They are 11-point road favorites over the Panthers with a 26.25 team total. He was pretty quiet last week in his debut, but the Chiefs lost to Buffalo, and it wasn't the best game for the Chiefs. So, and he's only 5% rostered, so he's kind of my second guy there. Third guy is another guy that was kind of quiet last week, but I think he'll turn that around, and that's Brandon McManus. He is at home at Lambeau against the 49ers. They are 13% rostered. Green Bay last week, it's a bummer because I recommended him last week, but Green Bay kind of had limited possessions. And then they went for 2 on one of their touchdown drives of 3. So he just didn't really have a chance to add points to rosters, but the Packers are home favorites by 2.5, and they have a team total of 25. I was actually surprised that the Packers are favored, to be honest, over the Niners, but I guess that's where we've come to here with this Niner team.
Right.
They are underdogs on the road in Green Bay. So, yeah, McManus is there as your third option. My fourth kind of bonus option here is Jason Myers at home against Seattle. I'm sorry, he plays for Seattle. At home against the Cardinals. He is 6% rostered. Jason Myers has hit 5 of 7 from 50+ yards this season. It should be a good game. I mean, it's basically it's basically a pick 'em. The Seahawks are 1-point favorites, but that's basically a pick 'em. It's a good NFC West battle there between the Seahawks and the Cardinals, and they have a 24.25 team total. So there's 4 guys for you, actually 5 if you count the double Washington names, but we've got either Austin Seibert or Zane Gonzalez, whoever is playing that day, Spencer Schrader, Brandon McManus, and Jason Myers. Those are the kickers. Yeah, good week, hopefully, for kickers, for those of you out there that need them, considering, like we said, it is a 6-team week of buys. You probably do need them. All right, let's jump into some more questions here.
Let's do it.
Jonathan Santiago, I should say. Need 2 wide receiver, 1 flex between Ken Walker, McConkey, Ridley, and Jennings, full PPR. Ooh, that's a good problem to have.
Right. I would bench Ridley.
I was just going to say the same. Look at that.
Knock it out.
Yeah, I would bench Ridley against the Texans there. I think the rest of those guys are in a better spot.
Tyler, it's fine to play Otten and Bucky Irving.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that was the question. Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
yeah, and they're playing the Giants, I believe. So yeah, fire them both up, no problem. Especially with the Bipocalypse, Mageddon, whatever. You probably have to play both. Okay, Javier Servat. Will you drop either Hunt or Tillman for Brooks?
I think it's fine to drop Hunt for Brooks, but I don't know how much Brooks is going to be playing.
Yeah, I don't know. They keep teasing us with taking him off on IR, putting him back on IR, or out, not out.
I think Kareem Hunt's going to touch the ball 3 times a game for the rest of the year. Pacheco's just going to offer so much more.
Yeah, and Pacheco is fresh, so I wouldn't drop Tillman though. I think he's in a good spot there. So I think Hunt for Brooks is fine because you're probably. I mean, depends on who else you have in your lineup, but like Justin said, I don't think Hunt is going to be. Is going to crack the lineup unless you're truly desperate. So
right.
I'm okay with that. All right, moving down. Oh, Terry McLaurin. Oh, you're adding Terry McLaurin to that list above with 2 wide receivers and a flex.
I'd still rather have Walker, McConkey, Jennings, maybe.
Or Jennings. But they're playing Dallas. Terry is.
Oh, yeah.
I would maybe throw Terry in there, but I don't know if it. I'd maybe throwing for Jennings against the Packers on the road. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
That's probably what I would do. Hello, Krakatoa, to you. Okay, Oscar O. Will Levis, week 10, 20 points versus Minnesota, 18.5. Schedule, week 14, Jags.
No,
win.
we want Jaden Daniels above Will Levis in every matchup, no matter what, every week.
Is that the same person that asked that question, or is this
No,
another person have the
this is a
exact
different
same?
person.
Wow.
I'm sorry, guys. If you have Jaden Daniels, don't stream Will Levis.
Yeah, it don't get cute. Like it's just not. Yeah, I wouldn't do it, Oscar. If it were my team, of course, but feel free. Brian Sullivan, a little late to the show. Oh, you're right on time, Brian.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Defense for week 1 of the playoffs: Baltimore, Kansas City, or Philadelphia. All right, so you're talking week 15, I would assume, right? Is the standard week 1 of the
right?
playoffs?
Or is it
Week
15?
15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think 15, 16, 17. Oh, it depends on
Everything's different.
yeah, it depends on your league here. Some of them start 14. It depends if you have a bye or not. But all right, let's look at the schedule.
Baltimore's a bye in week 14, but they get the Giants in week 15, which
Yeah,
so the answer is I'm not even gonna look at the rest. The answer is Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean yeah, assuming it's week 15. If it's week 14, you can't play Baltimore. So
yeah.
But let's just look real quick, just to be fair here. Kansas City actually has a lovely game against the Browns, so that might not too bad. It is on the road though. And then what is your third one? Oh, the Eagles.
They have Steelers.
Was it? No, it says Phil.
They're playing this against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, in week 15. Got it. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, yes. Yeah, then no on the Eagles there. If you're talking week 15, we say Baltimore. If it's week 14, you can't play Baltimore, so go Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Ricardo, 12-team PPR. Tucker Kraft due to Ingram on bye. Should I play Kraft or try to get someone off the waiver?
No, he's totally fine.
Yeah, I think Kraft is fine. I mean,
yeah.
You know, if you were here earlier in the show and listened to Justin's tight ends, I mean, would you say Disley over Kraft? No,
I'd rather have Kraft than all the streamers, actually.
Okay, then yes, Ricardo, roll with Kraft. We like it. Chester D, Daniels versus Mayfield.
What happened? What happened to everyone and Jaden Daniels?
I don't know. Yeah, everyone has turned on Jaden Daniels.
Tommy DeVito or Jaden Daniels the rest of the season.
I mean, listen, Jaden Daniels had a bad week 10. I'll give you that, but he was fine last week. He was close to 200 yards. He threw a touchdown. He only had 18 yards on the ground, but still, yeah, I think it's Daniels. I mean, if we look, let's just to be fair here, let's look at their schedules. Daniels still has a bye in week 14, which is not ideal. But the next 2 weeks are great. I mean, Dallas, Tennessee, great. And then for the championship in week 17 against Atlanta, great. And then Mayfield actually has a beautiful schedule on the way out here. He's got Carolina, Vegas, Chargers, Dallas, and Carolina. Again, all good matchups. So, I mean, I understand why you're asking. I would probably still stay with Daniels, but I would definitely don't drop Baker. Don't give him to someone else. But
yeah, play defense.
I probably prefer Daniels there. Okay, Michael, would you flex Disley in a tight end premium super flex dynasty league over Pearsall, D Hop, or Pollard?
Not over Pollard. Tyjae Spears had another concussion, so he's probably not going to play. So Pollard could get 20, 25 opportunities. But it's a good thought, but I would do it over Pearsall and maybe even over Hopkins, but I wouldn't do it over Pollard.
All right, let's get through defense here real quick because there's a lot more questions. Right. So Justin,
well, this will be pretty short and sweet because this is a miserable week for options. I only brought 3. I try to always do 4, but I think there's like 19 defenses held in over 40% of leagues, and like 3 of the ones that are on bye. So I had like 5 defenses to choose from. Up at the top, we have the Commanders against the Cowboys. The Cowboys surrendered 19 points to the Texans defense last night, including 5 sacks. and then interception and that rumbling, fumbling, bumbling return, fumble touchdown. So here's the state of the offensive line in Dallas, who are already giving up on the year. All-world right guard Zach Martin left with another ankle injury, may have been his last snap of his career, which is sad. Left guard Tyler Smith also left the game, is already questionable for week 12. Left tackle Tyler Guyton left the game after recovering that fumble, and then didn't return. So the Commanders are the easy click for me as the number one option. We'll get into another bad quarterback here in a second, but Cooper Rush is, make like a top 50 quarterback. So we don't have to be concerned about him. My number 2 defense, which is admittedly pretty close to the number 1, is the Bucs against the Giants. We got Danny DeVito in the house. Out of 48 qualifying quarterbacks last year, he led the league by taking a pressure on 48.9% of his dropbacks. His 31.9% pressure to sack rate ranked 46th, and they have allowed 3 sacks per game and this year, they've allowed 3 sacks per game since left tackle Andrew Thomas hit the IR. So Tommy DeVito absorbs pressure into sacks, and the Giants allow a lot of sacks. So that's a great floor play there. And then, look, the Commanders are 21% rostered, and the Bucs are 14% rostered. If those two are somehow both taken in your league, you can go with the Cardinals on the road in Seattle. Arizona has scored 12 points as a DST in back-to-back games headed into the bye, and that's the only nugget I have on them. So it's Commanders, take them everywhere if they're already rostered. It's the Bucs if they're both somehow rostered. The Cardinals are fine, I guess, but if both of those are rostered, you're kind of just screwed.
All right, there you have it. All right, let's take some questions because there's a lot here.
Okay.
Craig, Debo, Zay Flowers, Downs, Ridley. How should I sit or waiver? I guess you're asking who. We technically don't do start sits here, but I already started it, so I guess we'll answer it. You
Debo,
don't need to
Ridley,
waiver.
Flowers, Downs. That's the order I would put them in.
Debo, Ridley, Flowers, Downs. Yeah, and you don't need a waiver. I mean, over these guys, you're not going to find anyone better. These guys are fine, but yeah, I would probably sit Downs of those, I guess was the question. I don't know. But anyway, okay. Is Amir Abdul a good ad for a few games? Sorry, I may have missed it. We did talk about him a little bit earlier. He's fine. I mean, it depends on obviously the rest of your lineup, but he is going to catch some passes, and like Justin said, they're going to be behind. So he's decent. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything major from him. He's not going to drop 30 points or anything.
Right.
But he may get you 10, 12 points on a good day. So we don't hate that. Okay, Eric, PPR 8-3, headed to the playoffs with a round 1 bye. As of now,
Heck yeah.
Good for you. Would you trade Henry Flowers for Brees London? I'd starting Achane, Brees and Nico London Connor. I don't know. I say this every week. Like I'm not trading Derrick Henry. Like I just don't know.
Right.
I mean, Brees London is fine. He's probably the best thing on that team, but London is an upgrade over Flowers sometimes.
I still don't want to trade Henry.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. I think you're 8-3.
Keep riding.
Keep riding. Don't fix what's not broken. Krakatoa, Bates over Moody rest of season. Yes. I'm down with that. All right. Michael Santino, greetings. What do you think a trade I receive Chuba and Montgomery Chuba or Montgomery and Higgins?
What is happening?
X Henry plus Devontae. Jeez. My wide receivers and running backs roast.
All right. Nope. Sorry, dude.
Michael,
no idea what this
hold
means.
on. Put it back. Give me a second here. I'm not going to give up that quickly. Okay, so you're looking at Chuba or Montgomery and Higgins for, I'm guessing, Henry and Devontae, right?
Yeah.
I would not give away Montgomery. Chuba and Higgins for Henry and Devontae, I guess, but Higgins is
absolutely
coming on. So yeah. Yeah. I don't hate that. I mean, listen, you have Oh, you're giving away. Oh, you're receiving. Okay.
Oh
Now I
no,
see you.
nope,
You have yeah. Yeah,
absolutely
like
not.
we just said, don't trade Henry away. That we just yeah. I mean, I love David Montgomery. Henry's probably the only the person that I would not that I would not give away, yeah, for him. So I would keep Henry.
Yeah,
Okay, Michael.
sorry.
That's okay. Hey, quit clicking it. Okay. Thoughts on if Kittle and or Mike Evans will play this week? It's so early. We don't have thoughts yet. At least I don't. I haven't been
I
able to look.
I think Evans is like almost a guarantee to play.
I hope so. I mean, he's got a hammy. He's been out for a while.
Yeah,
Um,
Kittle's a little more. We're gonna have to wait for the injury report throughout the week.
I sure hope Evans is back because I need him in
I
several
really
leagues.
think he
So
is. I would venture to guess he
yeah,
is.
Kittle
No idea on Kittle
tough
though.
to tell. Um, almost played Schrader for my lady, but chose Myers. Oh, you mean because Butker is
Uh,
not playable as a lady? I'm with you, Michael, on that. But okay. Let's see here. My CMC for his Collins, Pacheco, and Higgins, or
what? Yes, absolutely.
or Colin and St. Brown. Yeah, I mean, I would. Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is okay. This is the same guy earlier who asked about trading CMC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think either of
Oh,
those
100%.
I would do either of those packages, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah. I don't know if I would try to flip Bowers, honestly. I
I
mean, it
don't think I
depends
would
on who
either.
else. It depends on who else you have, but he's the tight end one, so I don't know why. I mean, if you have someone right, but I don't know if I would flip him and then you're going to be starting, Jatavian Sanders and Theo Johnson instead.
Right,
I don't
exactly.
know if it's worth
For
giving
real.
up.
If you have like Bowers and Trey McBride, like, yeah,
Right. Or even if you had like Kraft or Otten or someone that was at least like, someone that is going to get that volume every week.
right.
I wouldn't do it for someone that is a crapshoot, basically. Okay. Let's see. Moving down. Michael Daniels and quarterback, Goff versus Indy or A. Oh, for the super flex spot. Gosh, I mean, oops, that was my bad. I clicked the button there. I don't know if the Anthony Richards we saw the other day is real or not, right? I mean, I think Goff has been playing really well. I don't know. I lean Goff, but then
Yeah.
again,
I
with
would
Richard,
do Goff since you already have variability from Jaden Daniels.
yeah, I
So
was just gonna say the mobility. Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Okay. Let's keep going. All in one flowers for Wilson instead. I don't remember your earlier. Let's see. Let me scroll up real quick. I don't remember who. You were. Oh, flowers for Jennings. Now you're saying flowers for Wilson
Oh
instead.
yeah, I'd rather have Garrett Wilson than Juwan Jennings.
Yes, agreed. Okay. Laws 350. Rank these quarterbacks rest of season, 4 point per tight end. A Rich, May, Winston, Caleb. Ooh. Maybe as you have. Well,
I think I want May over Richardson.
yeah, I definitely don't want Caleb, so he stays there in the 4th spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me look real quick at I actually have it still pulled up. Okay, so May still has a bye in week 14, and he has kind of a neutral schedule. Winston has a rough road 12 through 15, so that's not great. Richardson. So okay, basically Richard and May both have buys in week 14. So that's that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I think I'd say May or Richardson as your 1 or 2, and then Winston, Caleb.
I agree.
We agree. Okay. Oscar O, McBride or Otten rest of season to send for a trade, asking for Mayfield.
Definitely McBride.
Yeah, McBride, and then we already answered that other part 4 times, so we're not going to do that again.
What is happening?
I don't know, but okay. Oh, that's not a yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, he just had a rib.
Yeah,
He has a rib injury, but he still has the upside to win your league.
Okay. Well, we're almost at an hour here, and I have a meeting with our boss in 30 seconds. But let's let's get to Jonathan's question here. Rate
Okay.
this trade, Superflex League. I clinched the playoffs. Would you trade Sam Darnold, Winston, and Tillman for Josh Allen and Mooney? Guy has Kirk.
Yes. I can trade 2 quarterbacks for a far better quarterback, I'm doing that 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, and I think Mooney. Well, Mooney has.
Oh, it's a super flex league. I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's why. But the other guy has Kirk. Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, 100%. Mooney might end up missing this week, but
yeah, Mooney's kind of
Josh
hurt.
Allen.
But yeah, you get Josh Allen, and I mean Tillman has been good, but then this last week he wasn't. Last week all of a sudden it was Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
So
He also says he would have Baker as well. So he'd have Josh Allen and Baker, which I think is totally fine in a super flex league.
Yes, like it. All right. We've answered a bunch of your stuff all in one show. You're really trying to get rid of Flowers, huh? Flowers in London for Cup. Yes. Well, I don't know if it's
fine.
worth. I don't know if it's worth a 2v1 wide receiver there. That seems like a lot. Flowers for Lamb. I mean,
here you like Bo Nix or Justin Herbert, and then we can get out of here.
This week or forever?
Say this week. I like Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert's. I mean, they're both actually playing very well.
Yeah.
I cannot remember. Let me see here. Oh yeah, the Broncos play Vegas, but they're on the road. And Herbert. They're both good matchups. Herbert is on the road. I'm sorry, Herbert's at home against Baltimore. Yeah, I lean Herbert, but I don't hate either of them.
Yeah.
He said this week. Yeah. Yeah, I think we both like Herbert, but I mean, Nix is not that far behind. All right, there's one more, and then we're literally at the end. Is Taysom Hill sustainable? Well, it's a Taysom Hill question. Is he sustainable? I have Hill and McBride. Wonder if I should try to trade one.
Yes, you should try to trade Taysom Hill right now.
Yeah, I would, because the sustainableness it's Taysom Hill. He's
not scoring 50 points every
week.
Week.
This is the pattern. We've seen it from him for years. He blows up and then he has nothing, and then he blows up and then he has nothing. So
if you had like, God, if you had like, I was gonna say Jake Ferguson, he's also down. If you had like Dallas Goedert or something, I'd be like, no, you need to keep Taysom Hill. But you have the like tight end 2 or tight end 3. This is a perfect time to try to trade Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, agree. Sell Hill. All right, guys, we're out. Thank you very much for joining the show, all of you. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I'm Jen Akins, and I am here for Justin Edwards, or whatever that means. I don't know. I'm tired. You guys have a great day. Take care. See you next week.